Why the glacial pace for school reform if schools are so important?
I think the best simple answer to that question is that there's not a simple answer to that question. Some guys named Chubb and Moe published a study several years ago under the aegis of the Brookings Institution, and their finding was that the schools were excessively political, and that political influence in the schools essentially stymied anything in the way of substantial reform. If you're looking for a one-word answer, it's politics. The schools are like any other organization. If they try to be all things to all people, they're not going to be much to anybody. And I'm afraid that's kind of the situation that we're in.
We're not going to be able to get into all of the details of the presentation, but let's hit some of the highlights. You had a chance to talk about some of the actors in this process who could be called bad guys, and there wasn't just one. There were a bunch of different groups who, for one reason or another, play a role in blocking school reform.
Yes, I think it's important to keep in mind that there are two sides of each of these coins. For example, teachers' groups get a lot of criticism, and I think much of it is justified because of their resistance to things like full accountability for their performance. Teacher evaluation schemes, for example, are routinely opposed by teachers' groups. And while I think that kind of evaluation process and the accountability that should result from it are key to school reform, at the same time I do have a great deal of sympathy for teachers because the evaluation process is not perfect, especially in its current form. We don't have great ways, currently in use anyway, of evaluating student progress.